Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Dimotema Thibedi from South Africa, representing the Pan-African Parliament. I think the question of reinforcing and measuring solutions beyond the forum, it is a very fundamental, for me, it's at the heart of everything, because very often we can be tempted to sit in boardrooms and talk, forgetting that we're not talking on behalf of ourselves. We're actually representing people there who are going to be affected by the shortage of water. So therefore, I think I support the idea that says there has to be some kind of working committee or meetings which can communicate through all means of communications like teleconferences and so on. But for me, coming from Africa, I just want to make a point that, your internet is not something that is accessible by the majority of people in the deep rural sectors of Africa. So whatever solution that we come across must take into account that there are certain indigenous and traditional methods that still have to be applied in order to communicate with the people. And those methods, in a way, need some kind of resources in order to be able to reach out. Because my view is that those people who are affected by this thing, especially rural women, are the ones who can even help us providing better solutions to the problems, because they are daily in contact with these challenges. So I'm therefore saying, Madam Chair, that for me what is also important is that we need to accommodate this kind of personal communications through workshops and so on that can be arranged, because members of parliament, first and foremost, are representatives of those rural masses who are there. Therefore, we must not use technology in a way unconsciously to exclude them. So I'm therefore making a point that we need to find a way of including them, because one day they'll say to us, nothing about us without us. And I think it will be too late for us to respond to that kind of a fundamental statement that they'll be making. Thanks.
Monsieur Thibedi, à quel type de méthode plus traditionnelle faites-vous référence? À quel type de méthode plus traditionnelle faites-vous référence? Est-ce que vous pensez à la radio communautaire? Est-ce que vous pensez à autre chose? À quoi pensez-vous exactement?
Madam Chair, thanks very much. The traditional method I'm referring to, one will be, for example, in situations where you can have your community meetings. That's the first thing that you can have. You can have your community meetings in order to be in touch with the leaders who actually represent those rural masses, who can be able to take your message down to the people. Secondly, your community radio is also a very powerful tool, because in areas where there are no television networks, very often the radio is playing in those areas. So those are the kind of traditional methods I'm referring to, because it's quick and convenient, of course, to use internet. But as I said earlier, it's not accessible in some areas. So therefore, those are the things that I would even say. I mean, even also using newspapers as a tool of communication. It's also a very powerful message that can send. Thank you very much.